Have you ever thought about when she misses you the most? It's not while she's laughing over dinner. It's not when she's lost in her phone, scrolling through endless posts. It's when the clock strikes 2 a.m. and the world finally slows down. That's when everything gets quiet. No distractions, no notifications, just her and her thoughts. And that's when your name surfaces. Not because she meant to think of you, but because feelings don't follow logic. They follow emotional rhythms. And when the night falls silent, the mind naturally returns to what's unfinished, what's unresolved, what still echoes in the silence. In this video, we're diving into why those late-night thoughts hit so hard, what they really mean, and how a man who lives with purpose should respond. 1. The silence at 2 a.m. cuts deeper than any words. When night falls, the noise stops. There are no distractions, no friends, no fake laughs, no buzzing phone, just the weight of reality. And that's when her thoughts begin to replay your moments together. Moments she swore she had forgotten. The way you made her laugh when she was falling apart. The calm in your voice when she tried to test your patience. The way you spoke not to impress, but from your core. A man grounded in Stoic principles doesn't demand to be remembered. He becomes unforgettable by the way he lives, by his silence, by his discipline. You don't leave a mark by sending one more text. You leave a mark by walking away with grace and letting your absence speak louder than any words. At 2 a.m., she's not thinking of the one who begged. She's thinking of the one who chose peace, the one who let go with dignity, the one who didn't chase. And that thought, it stays longer than any message ever could. Picture her staring at the ceiling, trying to understand the silence. You left behind that silence. That's your self-respect. That's your calm. That's the impact of a man who values his peace. This isn't revenge. This isn't a game. This is what Marcus Aurelius meant when he said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." And that's what she remembers. Not the man who chased, but the man who chose himself. 2. Regret grows louder when everything else goes quiet. During the day, her pride shields her. She laughs, scrolls, posts, pretends. She might even tell herself she made the right decision. But at 2 a.m., that voice of pride fades, and the voice of regret starts to whisper. There's no group chat to hide in, no distractions, just silence. And in that stillness, the truth returns. She remembers the last time you spoke. Your calm, your patience, your presence. She recalls how she dismissed you, believing you'd always be there, no matter how much she pushed. But this time, you didn't explain. You didn't chase. Let her experience the distance she chose. And that's when it hits her. You didn't just walk away. You emotionally disconnected. And that realization, it hurts more than any words ever could. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." So ask yourself, are you spending your quiet hours obsessing over her feelings? Or are you using that time to build your path, strengthen your mission, and protect your inner peace? Because when midnight comes, the emotional tables often turn. The man who stayed grounded sleeps peacefully. The one who acted from ego lies awake. This isn't karma, it's balance. It's emotional justice. Imagine two people in the same city, both lying in the dark. One is staring at the ceiling, wondering if she lost the one person who truly saw her. The other is resting deeply, knowing he didn't break his own values for someone who wasn't ready. That's the quiet strength of emotional detachment. That's the freedom of staying in control of your own mind. Before we move to the next part, take a breath and ask yourself, are you the one haunted by what-ifs, or the one who walks in peace? Are you still chasing validation, or have you started choosing yourself? That's the real difference. That's the quiet power that leaves a permanent mark. If this message hits something deep, tap that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, or just type, "I'm committed," because you are. Asterisk if you're truly walking this path of discipline and growth. Simply comment to my growth. It lets me know you're one of us. Now, let's keep going. Because what happens in the silence of 2 a.m. reveals more than words ever could. 3. Memory is her late-night consequence. Throughout the day, she plays it cool, laughs with friends, scrolls for hours, posts stories that say, "I've moved on." She looks undipped, even convinces herself that she is. But the truth doesn't stay buried forever. At 2 a.m., the noise disappears. The phone screen stays dark. The fake smiles drop. And that's when she's left with the one thing she can't escape: her thoughts. That's when the memories surface. Almost unconsciously, she taps into old conversations. Her hands remember the motions, even if her pride pretends otherwise. She finds the photos she thought were gone. The smiles feel warm for a moment, but then they sting. Nostalgia starts off sweet, but in the dead of night, it turns sharp. She remembers how safe it felt when you listened without needing to speak, how you kept your composure when she tested your limits, the calm you gave her when she was pushing you away, expecting you'd always return. But you didn't. Single quotes T. Now your silence is louder than any word you could have said. And here's the truth, you don't have to teach her a lesson. Time will. Life has a way of uncovering truths the ego hides during the day. And for her, it usually hits when the world is asleep. A Stoic man understands this deeply. He doesn't seek revenge. He doesn't chase validation. He protects his peace, because chasing what's already lost is like trying to hold on to water. The tighter the grip, the faster it slips. As Epictetus said, some things are up to us, some are not. Her memories of you are your burden. Your duty is to live aligned with your values, to keep evolving, to keep building. So while she's wide awake at 2 a.m. replaying moments she let slip away, you're resting, or maybe you're preparing for the next level, focused on your health, on your purpose. You're not out here plotting how to be missed. You're becoming unforgettable, not by force, but through dignity. You walked away and never looked back. Let the silence speak for you. Let her sit with the lesson in her own time. You don't need to break no contact. You don't need to remind her of your worth. Life will do that for you, because at 2 a.m., when the world goes quiet, your absence screams. For loneliness reveals what's real. All day, her mind is distracted. Endless group chats, social media scrolls, people everywhere. It all keeps her busy enough to pretend she doesn't care. But when the lights go out and her room falls into silence. That's when reality hits. That's when she feels it. You're no longer there. That's when she starts to feel the emptiness. And her mind, it drifts back to you. It almost always happens around 2 a.m. There's something about that hour that drags the past back to the surface. Her guard is down. Her pride is asleep. Her ego finally stops drowning out her heart. At 2 a.m., she's not acting unbothered. She's not laughing it off with friends or posting quotes to prove she's healed. She's not telling herself or anyone else that she's over you. No, in that still, quiet moment where the ceiling is the only one watching, that's when truth hits the hardest. And the truth is, she remembers. She remembers your patience. When things got rough, how you kept your cool when she tested you. How you didn't meet her chaos with more chaos but instead led with calm. You weren't flawless, but you were steady. And not every man knows how to do that. 2 a.m. doesn't just uncover loneliness. It reveals who truly left a mark, who mattered, who brought depth, not just excitement. That's when she sees it clearly. Not every man could have stood in the storm she brought and still protected his peace like you did. Seneca said it well. It's not about how long you live, but how well you use your time. And brother, you used yours wisely. You didn't waste your nights begging for attention. You didn't chase someone who wasn't ready to love you right. You gave your time with self-respect, patience, and quiet strength. And when you realized staying would cost you your peace, you did what real men do. You stepped away without bitterness, without drama. You chose your inner calm over outer approval. So when the world goes still and memories start speaking louder than noise, she feels it. Not a text, not a photo, but the space you once filled, now echoing with your absence. She scrolls, she remembers, and her chest tightens at the thought of how she let you go, thinking you'd always be there, but you're not. You chose growth over revenge, peace over proving a point, and the silence you left behind. It isn't hollow, it's heavy. It reflects, it reveals, it forces her to see the kind of man you were, and what she lost. 5. She misses the calm, not the chaos. Here's what she'll never say out loud. It's not the texts, not the calls, not the date nights. What she truly misses at 2 a.m. is the peace you brought into her life. She misses how safe she felt around you when everything else was falling apart. When she lost control, you stood grounded. You were the calm in her storm, the stillness in her noise. That's who she remembers when sleep won't come, because during the day, she's distracted. Group chats, social media, all the usual noise to numb the feeling. But when the world shuts off, that's when the silence gets loud. That's when her mind replays the pauses between the fights. the way you listened, really listened, the times you didn't flinch, even when she tried to shake you. That kind of presence, that's rare, and she can't replace it no matter how hard she tries. In a world where most react to chaos with more chaos, you responded with peace. You didn't raise your voice. You didn't match her storms. You met them with clarity. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you respond that matters." And now that you're gone, she doesn't miss another guy in her inbox. She misses the man who made her feel safe, without saying much at all. Let her feel that at 2 a.m. it's not your load to carry anymore. You're not here to fix what disrupts your peace. You're not here to run back just because she finally noticed. You're here to stay rooted in who you are, because real calm, it lingers long after the words are gone. So if you're wondering whether she thinks about you, she does, but not because you made noise, because you made silence feel like safety. And that's something she'll never forget. Before we move on, take a moment. In a world that's constantly loud, never forget stillness is powerful. Calm is magnetic. Peace leaves echoes. If this hit home, let me know in the comments. What lasts longer, the noise we make, or the peace we leave behind? Or just type, "True peace leaves echoes." So, I know you're walking this path with intention. Let's continue. 6. The mind rewinds when the world goes still. Late at night, when everything slows down, the mind starts replaying the things left unsaid. It's not drama, it's human nature, and that's why her thoughts circle back to you when she's alone. There's something about that hour. The world softens, the distractions fade, and everything she's been pushing away comes crashing to the surface. No more texting friends, no more endless scrolling, just silence, just her and her memories. And that's when you hit the hardest. She might not say it, but she remembers your calm, not your gifts, not your words, your presence. She remembers how you didn't react when she pushed your buttons, how you let her vent without trying to control her feelings. That kind of energy stays with a woman deep in her chest even after you're gone. Maybe she opens your old messages. Maybe she stares at your name. Maybe she locks her phone before doing anything. It's easy to act fine when the sun's out, but at 2 a.m. that's when truth speaks. That's when she realizes what she lost. Not just a relationship, but the peace that came with it. And this is what separates a man from a boy. You don't break the silence just because you crossed her mind. You don't reach out to ease her guilt. You don't step back into a place that no longer honors your peace, because that's no longer your role. Remains still, grounded, and unshaken. That's what real discipline looks like. That's true strength. Like Epictetus said, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can listen more than we speak. But sometimes, the listening isn't to others, it's to life itself. It's the silence, the moment, the awareness that not every situation demands your response. When you move like this, you don't just leave an impression, you become one of a kind. Not because you ran after her, but because you mastered the art of letting go. You became the man who welcomes stillness, even when he knows he's on her mind. That's not being cold. That's wisdom. 7. Unfinished chapters echo the loudest. When a story ends without closure, it lingers, especially when the clock strikes 2 a.m. and the distractions of the day fall away. That's when memories resurface. The silence gets louder than anything said. The what-ifs begin to haunt her. She stares at the ceiling, thinking of you. Maybe she scrolls through photos. Maybe she opens up that chat she thought she deleted. She rereads your last words, not craving attention, but missing the certainty you gave her. Her heart asks what her pride won't. Did you stop loving her? Or did you finally love yourself enough to let her go? That's the part that stings. You didn't argue. You didn't chase. You didn't give a big speech. You simply walked away, with calm, like a man who respects himself more than he needs to be understood. That's what real discipline looks like. It's the choice to close the book quietly. You gave yourself peace instead of trying to prove a point. Epictetus once said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life." Sometimes that freedom comes by stepping away without slamming doors or starting fires. The loudest breakups fade fast, but the quiet ones, the ones without closure, they stay. They create mystery, and mystery weighs more than memory. At 2 a.m., she's not just thinking of how you smiled or held her hand. She's remembering how you stopped trying, how you pulled your energy back. That silence, it echoes longer than words ever could. 8. Her pride sleeps before she does. All day, she wears her armor, She doesn't text, she doesn't call, she posts, laughs, scrolls. Pride tells her, don't reach out, he should miss you. And so, she listens until night falls. But when the noise disappears, her defenses fall, the truth creeps in, and the questions she buried come flooding back. Did she lose a good man? Is he done waiting? Did he finally love himself more than her indecision? In that silence, your absence becomes louder than anything you could say. She realizes you're not waiting, you're not circling her anymore. You moved on with grace. You chose your peace. As Epictetus taught, what matters most is not what happens, but how you respond. Your response, let go, without bitterness. Let her sit in the space she created, not to punish, but to protect your peace. Not because you don't care, but because you care more about your growth. Picture her now, lying there, phone in hand, staring at your profile. Maybe she even starts typing a message. Are you awake? But she deletes it. Pride whispers, don't send it. But her heart, it knows. That quiet war rages hardest. At 2 a.m. you, however, are calm, not restless, not waiting. You're at peace. Knowing a man's worth isn't shown by how far he chases, but by how far he's willing to walk away for his own sanity. If you're wondering whether she thinks of you, she does. But don't break your silence just because her thoughts found you. Let her learn. Let her process. Some lessons only reveal themselves in darkness, when pride sleeps and consequences wake up. That's not revenge. That's self-control. That's Stoicism. Now, let me ask you, have you ever walked away quietly and had it speak louder than anything you could have said? Drop a comment and let me know. Or just write, my peace is my priority if you're living this truth. Let's keep going. Number 9. Time reveals truth. Distance reshapes how we see things. At 2 a.m., her perspective finally shifts. During the day, she's busy. She scrolls, chats, stays distracted. But at night, when silence takes over, her mind revisits what truly mattered. She doesn't think about how fast you replied or how much you gave. She remembers something else. Your calm, your centeredness, the peace you carried when she brought chaos. What felt like distance then, now looks like dignity. Time helps her see it clearly. You weren't cold, you were composed. You didn't walk away to hurt her. You walked away because you learned one of life's greatest lessons. You're not owed closure, clarity, or even regret. Marcus Aurelius said it best. You are not owed anything by the world. And with that, you detached from needing anything from her. But here's what most men overlook. When a woman reflects at 2 a.m., it's not about wanting the old you back. It's the realization that she let go of a man with rare emotional stability, and that hits different in silence. She remembers how you didn't react, how you stayed calm, how you walked away with quiet strength. Maybe she wants to reach out, maybe she doesn't. But either way, your power remains. You let her experience that late-night clarity on her own. That's Stoic power. You didn't chase closure. You became unforgettable because of how you let go. Number 10. It's not you she misses most. It's the peace she felt with you, the calm you carried, the way her heart felt safe in your presence. And now that you're gone, that silence, it's deafening. It's not about memories or old photos. It's about how you made her feel. That steady energy, that calm presence, it's rare. When a man carries true peace, it stays long after he's gone. She might be with someone new, she might be busy. But at 2 a.m., the comparison begins. Between the men who want attention and the one who carried peace. Between boys who chased and the man who led with calm. You didn't walk away with anger, you walked away with clarity. And what you left her with was not chaos but a mirror. A reflection of what real presence feels like. She remembers, not just the moments, but the man who never begged, never fought for attention, but simply chose himself. That's what makes you unforgettable. Not the calls, not the texts, but your decision to let go with dignity. So keep walking, stay grounded, let life unfold. Because the man who chooses silence over drama will always leave an echo. If this message connected with you, hit that like button. Leave a comment below and tell me what part spoke to you. And if you're ready for more, check out the next videos on screen right now. Stay focused, stay calm, and keep growing.